I click that from this point on, anything that happens in the screen, anything I say is being recorded. Okay, so you can. There's an app on the iPad. I'm gonna put the meeting number in right. Matter of fact, one of you guys want to do it for me. Okay, let me get to it.
Now, so I have to download the app ahead of time.
Yeah, and you can use this app to both run a presentation, or you can actually use it to just see a presentation. So you can do both with the app. Let me just get to it. Here we go. There you go. If you put in the meeting number, is 361-016-269, and shortly you'll see that device joining as well. It's keeping track of how many students are logged on, what name they use. I actually encourage them to log on anonymously. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
There is one other caller on the call.
You can hear, so you can actually, I should turn the sound off on that because we're going to get that feedback.
Why do you encourage them to log on?
Because then they're a little bit freer about asking questions. So you can actually use, if you want to. Oh man, shut up. Actually, I can mute this from here. Yeah, wait, no, that would be muting me. That won't work.
Trying to figure it out.
Oh, here, I know what it is.
Is that an iPad?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just in a big thing over here. Okay, that should do it. Okay, so you can follow it on there as well. You're seeing exactly the same thing. We've been recording all of this as I've been, chatting about this stuff. So it'll actually, keep track of how long they're on. It actually gives you a measure of their level of participation. I don't know how it bases that because it's not based on the number of questions they ask or anything like that. It may be based on maybe tracking mouse movements or activities that they're doing or some sign that they're awake while this is going. Yeah, it's actually telling you in the minutes that they're actually online and staying there. So you know when they logged on, when they logged off. I don't like. Maybe it does. Maybe that it does something like that. You can actually do now. The other nice thing about this is that you're seeing this in a window. All of this is taking place in a window. You're seeing my whole desktop, but all of this is taking place in a window, which means that while you're doing that, you can make the window a little bit smaller, and you can open Excel in the same data set, and you can do exactly the same exercise that I'm doing there as well. So, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, depending on what we're doing, if we're doing homework review or something else, I would encourage them to do that. There's the iPhone application also. Okay, so at any rate, let's see what else that I want to demonstrate to you. So you can use you can work with a number of different applications here. The other thing that I can do is I can take any one of these participants. I'm going to click on that. I can make them the presenter. Now their screen will be broadcast, and everybody watching can watch them work through a problem or show, ask a question and say, "Oh, I'm having problems with this." When I do this, and we can actually see what they're doing. I'm now watching what they do. I can unmake them a presenter after that. You can also make them an organizer. Usually don't do that. When we do that, usually is when, for instance, if I'm collaborating with one of the other professors and I'm saying, okay, the lecture part is over. Now we're going to the lab part. I can make that person the presenter or the entire organizer and just say goodbye, and he can pick it up from there. Now he's in charge. He's got all the controls and stuff like that. So if Ali is taking the second half, I can just hand it over to Ali. His screen appears. He has all the controls and stuff like that. He's the guy now. You can also turn over control of the keyboard and mouse. So if you want a student to for instance, this is for Gina. If you click on that, I can give Gina control on my computer of my keyboard and mouse, so I can watch her go through the exercise and do it and look at it and stuff like that.
That's what we need at the help desk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this would be a great help
Okay.
desk. Exactly. You know, like in other words, someone at the library could do this
That's
and
right.
demo how to use Zotero or
That's
one of
right.
these other pieces of software or the databases and so on and so forth.
You're giving them control over your keyboard and mouse and your computer.
Oh, well, only temporary. You can take it back though.
You can have that.
Yeah, you can take it back anything. You're in control there. Now the other thing is this control panelist. I like to keep it open so I can
Yeah.
see. You know, like for instance, if oh here you go, there's a bunch of comments. Now you notice you also have the opportunity. You can address a comment to any individual. You can too, or you can address a comment to the group, right? And like I said, because I'm not grading this and I'm not really tracking their participation, I encourage them to log on anonymously. That way, if they feel a little bit bolder about asking, I don't want to embarrass them if they ask a stupid question or something like that. Especially with a math course, there's a lot of, you have no idea. This is an introductory biostatistics course. So a lot of these people are coming back to school for the first time in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. They haven't taken a math course in a long time. There's a lot of anxiety involved. And they're very timid about asking questions. So I just think, a lot of times Donald Duck will be participating on Fred Flintstone. I usually the first class or two are not online. We do those purposely, have everybody come in, make sure that they know about Blackboard. We know that they know how to get onto it, that they even have access. Again, first semester, if they're there for this could be their first course they're taking. So if their first semester, the registrar didn't do this, I'm not on Blackboard yet, and so we got to make some accommodations for them. So we want to show them how this works. So the first two classes usually are in class. Yeah, yeah. And to be honest with you, lately because Levi's been he's working at the building, so there's no reason for him to go home and do it. He's there anyway. He's researching, and he does all the lectures live. But online. In other words, broadcast. In other words, you have this room full of students like this. He'll be doing it this way for the students. They'll be watching this, and the rest of the students that didn't want to come into school that day are watching it from home, and they're getting exactly the same experience. So now, at any rate, so when I'm done with the presentation, right, I can go over here and I can say, hey, good night, everybody, so on and so forth.